start the clock. Logwork number 3. Who was not in first class, check them in class recordings, because I explained how to do homework number 1. And now let's jump to our project and let's see what we can do in our project. So now I will continue on next step of our project. It will be logwork number 3. So let's jump to week number 9. Extend all the parts. And if you want to see logwork number in here, so turn on classification code. And in here you can see logwork number 2, logwork number 3. So in logwork number 3, I will try to explain building parts which are above the ground. So last time I spoke about underground part. Now I will speak about constructions on the ground. So walls, columns, internal walls, partition walls, doors, windows, rooms, spacings, and next week we will speak about floors, roofs, and other parts of the building. Okay, so last time I finished preparing this part, so now I will save my progress project as new step. So new step is logwork number 3. And always you should work on the latest version of your project. If you need to fix mistakes or you have some errors in your project, you should do the fixing on the main latest project version. And if you just need to upload corrected project, you go to add-ins, you use transmittal, a model tool, transmit the model, change the name of the file to logwork 1, 2, 3, and so on, and upload fixed version of your project. And the main project should be always on the main part. Okay, so we finished parking structure plan, and now let's jump to first floor plan. So parking architecture plan and ground floor column plan. So all the concept of all the basics are the same like we did last time, and let's see how to do this on ground floor. Okay, so I can delete the notes part and just put my project here. Okay, so I have large project space, so I need to check this floor plan. So parking architecture plan and ground floor wall column plan. So in here I don't see any objects, so maybe it's a problem of phasing or other issues. So let's check. So objects are turned on. I should also turn on columns, walls, okay. I go to 3D model and check here. Okay, so I see all my walls are from the first floor plan. And if I turn on all the elements, and I don't need scope box here, so I will deactivate scope box group. Okay, so I see I have only the mass and the underground part. So now ground part I can manage and do choosing the same tools like I showed you in other classes. So you can use tools to create roof, walls, floors. So I will try to use it and create some basic walls on my building. I will select facade wall and use chord center line as main wall, and I will use base level 0, 0 and select the face. And the sides I will create from curtain system. Select the face for the curtain system. Okay, so I have nice facade. Now I can go to the ground floor plan and I see some objects. So my walls are here. So side walls I will change to structure. I will put the check mark in the structure part, and these walls will be bearing. As I mentioned, the grid line should go through the structure part. So I will use move tool and move my wall so it goes on the structure in the middle. So now I moved a grid wall to the grid line, and I should check the thickness of the wall. It's 200, so the middle is 100. So I select the wall, use move tool, and move it by 100. Now it's in the middle. I repeat the same task here. I move the wall, select the wall, and move by 100. So it means bearing part, this concrete part should be in the middle of my grid line. Now I can extend a little bit out my grid line bubbles and here. And regarding the facade wall, so in this case, joining part of this is not looking very nice, and I cannot do a lot of modifications with my facade wall because it's connected to face. So instead of facade wall which I made from the surface, I will delete this facade wall and will create new wall by using architecture walls. I will select curtain wall from the list, and I will draw basic line. So it will go here, it will go to top floor. So now, as I mentioned, it's hard for me because I didn't updated my floor all level names, and it's a little bit confusing. So let's say the top floor is this one. The top of the wall is lower than the base. Okay, so it means I made a mistake. Okay, so I need, in this case, go to the 3D model and check my top floor Okay, so let's update this one. So this one will be architecture level, and it will be plus 30 meters, 0, 0. And on this side, this one will be structure, okay, and plus 29,880. So it means my top floor will be this one. So I can go back to 0, 0 floor, select curtain wall, and select updated level for architecture, plus 30 meters. And now I draw the wall on my grid line. So from one side, and also I draw the wall from another side. Now important part on my wall, if I select my curtain wall, these two blue lines, these lines should be outside of my building, and these lines represent external part of the wall. So these lines should always be outside if we are working with facade walls. Now on my left side, I see my curtain mullion is L shape, so I need to change it to different shape. So I can do changing by make changes in editor and change L shape to rectangular shape. So it means I go here and change it to rectangular shape and click OK. And it should update my wall construction. Now this part should go and should finish like here. And on this part, maybe I can put some finish material and make it like finish part. Or another approach can be I just move this part down and extend my facade mullions to this position, and it's nicely creates a closing part here. So if I go, I think which side, maybe this one. First I need to turn off mass objects. I double click letter V and turn off mass objects. And now if I go here, yeah, so I see my curtain wall nicely finishes in this position, and I have a nice facade. And on this side, it goes to the wall. Now I have a problem because my floors is a little bit outside my building. So in this case, I think I need to fix my curtain wall because it's on axis. So it means I need to move it a little bit out. So in this case, I can make duplicate of this plan and make this plan as my work in progress plan. And in this case, I will turn off my template and expand and turn on all categories so I can see all elements. So now I see my mass and my floors in this position. So it means I need to move my facade wall to this position. Okay, and now I can use extend tool and I can extend my wall to this position. And also I can extend my wall to this position. So in this, I don't need to see any topography, and the mass is not actual for me at this stage. Now regarding this part, I need to do the same move. On join elements and extend. Now I can delete objects which I created a couple lectures ago for the training purpose. So I just delete these objects and I will create a new one. So now in my floor plan, I will need to create columns. So I click columns. Before clicking columns, I need also to know what is the next floor for my columns. So my ground floor is starting from this part, and second floor is here. Okay, elevation is good, and this one is also good. So I can just click columns, select vertical columns, activate tag on placement, click Hey, select it should go to the structure level 0 to 2.880, and add grids. I select placing add grids, and I just select all the grids and click finish. And here is my columns nicely placed. Also select the tags and change the tag name to type mark. And all the tags now are selected. I can move tags a little bit outside the column and show all these columns here. Now I need to change the material of columns, so I select all the columns in my project. I see my column phase is different, so I should choose, maybe choose 310 for my columns and select the structural material. So structural material of all columns should be the same. So concrete, high density. And this view I will look and use consistent colors. Okay, so my columns are created. Now I can create some rooms in this floor. So I just go to architecture, I select walls. So the bearing part of my building will be done by the columns and the side walls. Also, I will create some specific walls for staircase, and for parking plan, I should see in which location I have stairs. So staircase is here. So I would like to copy the same data, the same walls to my next floor. So I go to 3D model. I go to visibility graphics. I turn off all categories, select walls, click OK. And from here, I just select bearing walls of my staircase. I click copy and I click align to selected levels. So in this case, I will align these bearing walls to structure 0 to 2.880. Click OK. And now I can see they are a little bit in wrong level. So I can use align and select 0 floor. 0, 0, and click OK. So the top floor will be structure 2.8. Okay, for this one. And the next one is third floor plus 0.3 plus 0.5880. I write 0 because in my floors I have 2 digits representing the elevation. So if I want nicely organize all the levels in my project browser, I should also put 2 symbols representing lower elevation levels. I click OK. And do the same for architecture. 0 plus 0.3 and here plus 6, 0.6.000. Okay, so the floor switch is here. I just update the top floor, so it will go to structure 5. 880, and now in building side. So in building side, each wall is built by levels. It is not built like this wall. It's not built completely final version of the wall, just like this one example. Walls, side walls also. I should go to the front view and use modify tool and split element as should split my architecture walls by slicing it on the location of level. So made a mistake. I can slice maybe in approximate position. Later I can do fixing and use align tool and so on and fix my wall position. So to model one wall is easy in the beginning of the project, and in later phase all walls should be divided by levels. Then I divide, I have 2 constraints, so it means the wall is attached to the other wall, and if I want to delete or modify or change the height of wall, so it means I need to unconstrain walls so it doesn't interact with other wall. Also, I can use this disjoint tool when I'm moving object, and it nicely can disjoin the walls. So here is now walls nicely divided by the levels. So now if I go back to the work in progress, so here I see structure wall is represented here, and maybe this small wall I don't need. I can fill this part with some special insulation material or something like that. Okay, so now I need to repeat the same steps like I did in other parts. So I go to the main plan, which I will use for my main drawing. And I can change, I think, the scale on the floor plans 100. Let's check out ground floor. Yeah, so I need to change scale. So I go to the template, change the scale 1 to 100. Now my plan looks much compact, and maybe I can use smaller size sheet. Yes, it's possible. So I can move my shadows down and 3D representation also down. And the name of my floor plan go here. And for now, I can move building sections to the position of the staircase, because main sections is done in the staircase location. Okay, so this is ground floor wall column plan. So for the title on sheet, I should rename it. So it is now English ground floor wall column plan. Okay. So now I will try to update this image. Now it's showing a small part. I double tap on this one. I need to unlock this view. Also turn off the croppings, and I can leave section box. And now in here, I just go here on this triangle, click Orient View, Floor Plan, and select my ground floor wall and column plan. And the program automatically makes nice 3D representation of my ground floor plan. So in this case, I need to turn off all the phasings. Also, I need to turn off massing and topography, and also imported objects like DVG files or format files. And now I have a nice clean representation of my building. I can turn on colors, and here I can see my columns, my walls, and staircase part. Now some objects are large, so if I select my object, I see the space for this view is taking this area. So now I will activate cropping and will try to crop. I don't need to crop annotations, and I just crop only the part I need to see. After I do this, I can also save orientation and lock view, so it doesn't change automatically. And I see my 3D representation is not fitting. It's too large, so I will need to update the scale. So let's change scale to 500. It's a small representation of the floor plan. Okay, it works like that. And now I can create other objects like walls. So I just go and select a partition wall and select rectangle tool, and I can just draw some rooms inside my building, or use simple line tool and just draw lines. Also, let's make maybe some toilets in here. Okay, so I created some walls. Now I need to check if all the settings of the walls was made correctly. So all these walls will be partition walls, so it's not structural walls. Phase is 310, okay. And the constraints, so constraint 0, 0. And next one is architecture 3 meters. Next part, I put the doors to my rooms. So I just click open the door tool and select doors 900 and just put the doors in my rooms. I can click space and rotate the doors. Okay, so I put some doors. Also, I need to put some windows for my rooms, which is in this position. So I go to the window tool, select window. Still height of the window in most cases is 900. So I leave it like this one and just put window in my building. Now regarding window frame should be also let's check in 3D model. Okay. So now I don't see windows, but I see some openings in windows. So it means something is not correct. So I select all the walls and I should update the phasing of the walls. So I think the problem is the phases. Now, if I select all walls, I don't see phases here. Select visible, location line, dimensions. Okay. Separately this one, so 310. Yes, and select other walls and change phase to 310. Okay, now my walls are correct and I see window opening. Select other walls, also change phasing 310. And if I am not using any tools, so I recommend to change phase to 310. And let's say basement walls. Also, let's change it to 310. Okay, so I see my window openings. If I click elevation, so I see elevation of bottom part is 900. Visibility graphics. Oh. So I see my window size is a little bit larger than I need. So in this case, I will change the size of windows and select a smaller window from my list, like this one. Now in the ground floor plan, I see my window is in a good position. So window should be always in insulation part because it prevents cold weather bridges. From practical point of fixing windows, people like to put windows inside bearing part of the construction, but it's from energy saving part, it's recommended to put window inside insulation part. So now my windows are in insulation part, but I need to move my windows a little bit inside because my sill is quite big and it looks not so nice. So I select all the windows and change frame setback. Let's say 150. And now my window is inside the insulation part. I have a small part here. Also, I can practically move window practically to the position here, but I think it's okay if I leave it in this position. And if I go to 3D model, now I have a nice sill. Maybe it's too long. I can try to change it in edit type section. So I don't remember which of measurements is responsible for this part, because we have a lot of data here in window. So let's stay with this setup. Okay. Now, to save time, you can copy paste the dimensions from the plan which we created last time. So parking architecture plan. So in this case, I just select all the data, click filter, check none, select dimensions, select wall tags, structure column tags, maybe room tags, no, parking tags, no, generic annotation. We can try generic annotation, door tags, and you can click OK. All of this data you click copy, and let's go back to the ground floor plan. Let's save our progress, of course. And in the ground floor plan, I click modify, paste, and align to current view. Remove references. Some objects didn't get reference points because on this plan we have different elements. Delete some dimensions, and some dimensions is still here. So I see some column dimensions, column tags, wall dimensions, and so on. And of course, I should go and organize all the data so it is not colliding or overlapping other information. Sometimes I get this 0 and it will be hard to remove the 0 part. Sometimes it's easy, but sometimes it gets reference to some objects in other view. In this case, I recommend just delete this dimension and start it again. Okay, so from here, I just go through my so sometimes it will not show dimensions and I will get strange results. So in this case, like I mentioned, delete and start from scratch. And in here I show all the dimensions of my windows. So most consuming part of any project is creating 2D drawings. So it's take a lot of time because you need to be precise and put all the data and all the dimensions and all the things. And the last row of dimensions, I put this one. And now I can see my bubbles should be a little bit in this position. And here is bubbles going outside my paper space. So I need to move my view so it goes back in the paper space. Also, I put some symbols which shows entrance to the building, so I can delete some of them. And also I can update some dimensions. Just click Edit Witness Line and select dimensions. In most cases, in practice, dimensions is attached to the bearing part of the wall and not to the finish part of the wall, not to the plaster. So it's more logical part if the contractor or the builder is using architecture and construction drawings. He can see the same numbers and less confusing. Now I am attaching to the sides of the walls because I want to see the exact number for calculating area of my rooms. And of course I need to connect each wall to the grid lines. So I know the position. And if my dimension is not fitting, I always need to move it outside. And if some tags is overlapping objects, I should move it to empty space. And now regarding doors or openings, I always should attach doors and openings also to the grid lines. And this line should always be with small gap from object to the line. And also annotate, and I should tag all the doors on this floor. So it means if I click walls, I would like to tag my walls. And also I would like to tag all the doors on this floor plan. I will use type mark and click OK. And now all the doors are nicely tagged, and also all the walls have the tag. So now, based on the tag, I can find all these objects in the schedules and other documentation. If needs, you need to just move some objects around so everything is nicely fitted. Now this position is not good, so it means I need to rearrange objects. Next part, here I have a lot of strange leftovers from maybe other plan, so I need to clean it up, delete. And on this, yep.
So for the entrance doors, do we have like a dual door, or we can have like a single door?
To the building, entrance doors to the building. So to the building, we can create entrance doors. I will try to download, insert new family. So I can go to load Autodesk family. And I mostly like German families. They are most best created in Autodesk environment. I click the doors, and in here I can look for doors which is suitable for me. So if we need entrance doors, I can select like rotating doors, if I want such one, or I can select doors like this one, double doors, and click load. And now in my project, I can put these doors. Click doors, select needed family, needed size, let's say this one, and I just put the doors in my building. And on German doors, I have a lot of additional parameters which I can change, and my doors should adapt nicely, and maybe they have also possibility to open the doors. I can change this part from here, you can see. And now in my building I have nice doors. So in 3D model I will activate door category, and also I will activate curtain wall systems. So here how the nice doors looks like. If I turn on fine, you should see all the small parts of the doors. Also, if I use curtain wall, I can change some curtain wall panels to specific elements. I need to unpin the curtain wall element, and I can change this part to the doors. So now I have doors also in this location. Also, I can change curtain wall panel to different type. So I can select type which has not transparent type. So I can change to different material or different representation. And here I can see how the glass facade looks like for my building. So in here I created the doors for my facade, and now I see the door size is maybe too big. If I measure distance, I see it's 1 meter 443. So let's say I want to make these doors smaller. So I can go to architecture tools, click curtain grid, and just put additional grid line in this position. And it will divide all elements into small parts. And I will reset this back to the original panel, and here I have my smaller door representation. Now in my floor plan, I can see my scope box is not showing all the opening part of my door, and also I think the same is here. So I will need to update my scope box so I can see my doors normally. So I go to 3D model. In 3D model, I activate visibility graphics and go to scope box. Scope box. I use WT to organize my views side by side. Zoom all, ZA. I look from the top, and I just zoom in this position, and I will change the scope box size till I see nice opening of my doors. Yeah, so now my shape changed and I can see nicely opening here. The same issue is here, so I zoom out, zoom in, and do the same modification. And if my views are assigned or linked to the scope box, so all views which is linked will be modified by modifying scope box. So be careful, or you need later go back to views and check out if all the views are up to date. So let's double check. Okay, the size of the doors is quite large. Okay, let's try one more time. Okay, now my doors is nicely visible. So students like to measure doors or put the door dimensions in the drawings. Sometimes not as it's supposed to do. So it means sometimes I see mistakes. Okay, size of the doors is, let's say, 900. That's all. Okay, I see the size of the doors, but I don't know the position of the doors. So it's important to link and connect all the objects to the grid lines, to the walls, and put dimensions in one line. And of course, in some situations, it will not fit. So if the dimensions and information is not fitting, so engineer needs to make decision. He needs to change the scale of the drawing from 100 to 50, or he needs to divide the drawing into smaller parts so he can fit all the information he needs. Now I don't have the space to move my 300 dimension to any position, so I lift it above other dimension and create additional level of my dimension. And always all the dimensions, all the information is on the line, on the leader. So dimension cannot be without the leader. Elevations, dimensions, always with the leader. Okay. Now for this plan, I also would like to see the color scheme. So I will click template and select color schema. I will choose rooms and by number, I click OK, apply, click OK. And also in view template, I will change model view, select rows and put color fill. Click OK, apply, OK. And now I will see colors in my rooms when I create the rooms. So now I click rooms, I click place rooms, and the program automatically finds all the rooms and creates nice rooms in my building. Now I see my staircase is not created as a room because I have a gap here, small gap. So I need to fill this gap. So I can just use part of the wall. I can select create similar and just fill this part. Bye. And here my wall goes down because it's structure wall. So in this case, I maybe need to change and create similar. But for structure walls, I need to change. I want to, it goes up, and it goes up to the structure layer 0, 2, and now I see the wall. And now separate room was created. And now I can put my tag here and create this separate room. Also for the rooms, I need to look for overlapping information. Also for the rooms, maybe I need to see volume of my room. So I can edit type and I can duplicate this one. So it means I need number, area, volume. And I just change these check marks here, and I click OK. And here I can see my volume of my room. So in all my project, I will change it to area, number, and volume. So volume is needed to calculate all the thermal and temperature parameters. So now it's quite important to be energy efficient, and this numbers is important when we calculate efficiency of our building. Okay, next part. So in the architecture plan, also we can make a combination. In architecture plan, we can create separate plan for walls, columns, separate plan for the rooms, and also separate plan for furniture layout. In our projects, in most cases, we combine all these three plans. Floor, wall plans, we combine with room plans and combine with furniture plans and create one plan for all these ones. So from my drawing list, I can delete these plans, and also I can delete plans which is in Lithuanian. Also, sometimes people create additional plan for finishes of the floor plan. So in real construction or architecture projects, we have a lot of types of plans. Also, we can combine everything in one drawing, but in this case, it can be hard to read for information. So in some cases, we just need to modify this data. And I can delete all these plans. They will not be needed. Also, I will create a plan for my ceilings. Ceiling plan. To show the ceiling and the lights of the ceiling. And okay, so now I will try to put objects like toilets and maybe other parts on my plan and some furniture. So for this task, I will save my progress. So to organize nicely my plans, I will change my view and select orient view to the floor plan which I am working on. So it means ground floor wall column plan. So the program will update my 3D view. I don't need scope boxes, and maybe I don't need elevations, levels. So I just turn them off, and I will turn on all objects in this plan. Okay, mass is not needed. I just turn off the mass. So I have floors, I have my walls, I have windows, doors, columns, and now let's create some furniture and other engineering equipment. So for this task, I can take some elements from my project. So I can go to architecture and select components. And from the components, I can look for toilet and select the toilet here. Now, if I want to put toilet, I don't see the object in this plan. So it means it's hidden. The category is turned off. So I need to activate view template and click modify. So I will activate furniture systems, activate plumbing fixture, and if needed, electrical fixture and other categories can be activated. Now I can go back to the components, select toilets. Now I see toilet representation. and I can nicely put the toilet here. Now the toilet in this, so here I see the toilet representation. Now in here I see my toilet is looking not very nice because it doesn't have any connection of the piping. So it's important to have correct family objects which has all the needed connection points. So in this case, I need to go to Insert, Load Family, and load also from the German library, German, and I go to any category, and from category list, I select plumbing fixture, plumbing fixtures. And from here, I should look and select, let's say, toilet. Let's look. Bidet, toilet. So in here you can see a lot of interesting objects, and here we see I have some toilets, and some toilets have nice connecting points. So I will choose this one and click open. Now if I put this component in here, so I put the same toilet here, and now in 3D view toilet looks similar, the same color and so on. But if I select the toilet, I see connecting point for the cold water and also connecting point for sewer. So it means connecting point for my sewer part. And now if it's my office building, I can organize these toilets in some groups. Let's say I need to mix some gaps here. Next important part, all the toilets and other equipment needs a special zone which is needed to put all the pipes. So in this case, I will need to create additional space like this one. And create similar. Okay, and let's see. So this zone will be to put all the pipes of my toilets and other plumbing devices. And for this part, I will need also to create special opening in my floors and other constructions. Next object, let's put some furniture. So regarding furniture, it's not so complicated as for plumbing fixture. So you just can download any table. So in this case, dining table I will use, and I will put it here. And let's say I want to create an office room with some dining spaces. So it will be eating place in my office, and I can use array tool and just create several arrays of this one. 6, and if I click finish, automatically all arrays updates. And now we have nice room with all the tables. I recommend not to use very complicated geometry furniture or very detailed furniture, because if you create a lot of objects and you will create all the furniture in all the rooms, all the floors, your Revit file will increase in size, and it can be complicated with low power computers. So it's quite dangerous, and I saw from other students who created all these projects, so they had some issues with performance after we put a lot of nice looking furniture and so on. So all basic things like walls, doors, windows, and other architecture structure parts should be good quality, and all other things can be in simplified version. Because we are not furniture designers, we are not interior designers, so in this case, these things can be simplified. Okay, so to calculate all the elements and to understand what elements are, we should annotate and use tag all option. So I click tag all and select furniture tag. So for furniture tag, I will use box. Okay, and also plumbing fixture tag. Plumbing fixture. Plumbing fixture. Plumbing fixture tag. Also will use boxed tag. I click apply. Now the assign view template is preventing the category from displaying. Okay, so I click OK and I go to annotations and look for plumbing fixture tags, and also furniture tags. I click OK, apply, OK. Now what I see, here I have nice tag for my furniture, and for my plumbing fixture, my tags, okay, plumbing 2. So the tag is quite big and it's overlapping object, and maybe it's more logical to move these tags a little bit down if you have space. Also, the text style is not according to ISO standard, so I need to modify this family. So I go to edit family. I select the text, click edit type and rename 2.5 millimeters ISO CP is for text on the drawings, ISO CP, and I choose it for font. If you don't have this font in your computer, in normal Windows machines it should be. So font type, fonts. So we have special folder like fonts in our machine, and here is all the fonts. So if you don't have this specific font in your machine, you can type here ISO CP and copy this to your email, and later copy paste it in your machine, and it should work normally. Yeah, copy, yeah, you can copy paste and you will have it. So text size 2.5, tab size, I normally use it double the size of the text, like in this case 5 millimeters. Leader border offset 0.5 millimeters, and in most cases transparent. If you want to see the text over the object, you can click and put an opaque, so it will have background and it will be better readable, but it will close and hide object below it. Okay, click apply. Okay, now I click load into project. click Save Plumbing Fixture and save in my work in progress folder. Okay, I have it created in our class, and I will use overwrite the existing version. And it nicely overwrites, and now my text is in ISO style. And now I just select these tags and just drag them so it can nicely be visible. So from here I can calculate all the toilets. I know its number or the mark, and easy I can identify objects in my building. Now regarding shaft openings or other openings, so I should go to the architecture tools, and here we have openings. I can create opening by using face opening, so it will be perpendicular to the object. I can create shaft opening. It will cut objects like floors, ceilings, roofs, and through all levels. I can create basic wall opening. It will be in most cases just rectangular opening. And I can create vertical opening. Let's say in this example, we can see roof opening. Or I can create domes on my roof if I want. So in this example, I will show shaft opening. So this should be used for staircases, elevators, and some shafts specifically for engineering systems. So now I just select rectangle tool, click on the sides of the wall, and it's better to constrain all these lines. So if my wall geometry will change, it automatically will update the shaft opening. I click escape. Now I have the geometry of the shaft opening. Of course, if I look to the wall, so I have finish layer here and finish layer here. So in the shaft, I don't have finish layer for the wall. So it means I need to create different wall family for this part and use it for this specific shaft opening location. But in this case, we can use our wall type and just ignore this option. Next part is symbolic line representation. So regarding shaft openings and how they are visually represented, we can also find some examples in our examples on the Trimble Connect. Also in the plenary, we have a special location for dimensions and so on. So just go to the plan, type Ctrl F in the BIM execution plan, Ctrl F, and type dimensions, I think. And here you can see some examples how dimensions should be organized on your plan views. And here we have some representation of openings. In standards, we have also some other representation of openings, so it depends. If I go to MagicCAD, so this program is specially designed for creating engineering systems and openings for pipes and other parts. So this this tool has nice tools to do that, and I think students can download it and use it for their projects. And I just want to open maybe this view example, read more, YouTube video. And in here we can try to change resolution. Okay. And here are some representations of openings. So here you can see round openings, round recess openings, rectangular openings, and so on. Rectangular recess openings. So it can be represented by 2 lines or by these triangles or black zones. And this tool can automatically create openings for your pipes and other objects in your building. And it can save a lot of time. So in my case, I will try to use symbolic line representation and just use simple line and just, of course, for the line types, I need to use ISO line type. So ISO continuous line, and the thickness is 0.25, and okay, before using this line, I of course should go and check planary, and in the planary I should look for the lines, and they have special location for the lines, and in here all the things described regarding the lines, and diagonal for indication of openings, holes, and recesses. So it means I need to use 0.1 line for this task. So 0.1 line is, we should go up 0.1. So continuous narrow line, the thickness of narrow line, if our line group is 0.25, so narrow line is 0.13. So 13 is how to show it. The proportions of the line width are 1 to 4. Okay, so it means we multiply this number and we get next number in the sequence. So in this case, I made mistake. I chose 0.25. So from the lines, I should select this one, 0.1, continuous line, 0.125. And if I use 2 digits after point, it will be 13. So this line should be used for this task. And I click finish. Now next part, I should organize how deep my shaft opening goes. So it means I can say I would like to put my shaft opening below my car parking, and also I would like to put my shaft opening on the roof. So I go to the roof. So on the roof I would like to put 1 meter, and below my car parking I would like to put 1 meter maybe. So I have nice shaft going through all the building. So here you can see how my shaft opening looks like. And shaft opening is not visible. You can select shaft opening just moving the mouse, and this blue box appears and you can select it and do modifications of the shaft opening. And now shaft opening just nicely creates opening in my building, and I can put pipes and other communications in this location. So if I move section line here and I extend my section, so here you can see shaft opening created opening inside my ground floor, in my first floor, other floors, and it goes through all the floors and creates nice shaft. If I want to put the walls for my shaft opening on all the floors, I also need to prepare these walls for this copying part. So it means I need to modify and update walls. So in here I have a problem because my wall is overlapping with my floor. So walls always should be below the floors. So I need to select the floor and check out the thickness of the floor. So thickness of the floor is shown in this location. And I can see default thickness 330. So if I click structure, so it means I can check and calculate all the thickness parts. So my bearing part is 200. All things above is finish, architecture finish, and all things below is also architecture finish. So for the floors, I have all the same logic like for the walls. So my core main bearing part should be this one. So it means my walls which I want to attach should attach to my bearing part. So my bearing part is 200. Finish layer in here is 10 millimeters, and the top layer of all these layers is 120. So the same information is provided in the name of the floor type. So thickness of floor is 330, top finish 120, core structure layer 200, and 10 millimeters finish on the bottom. So it means all my walls in my building, internal walls, should be updated, and I should change location line, chord center line, and I should change the base. So now for some reason I cannot undo changing. Okay, so I will select just two walls and will change. Top offset will be 320. And now my walls just overlap on this finish layer. So I can click modify, join, and join the wall. And now it nicely joined. Another option, I can just select the wall and use attach tool and attach tool to the floor. In any case, both techniques can be used. Both techniques are correct, but always walls should go below the floors. The same situation goes here. If the wall is not bearing, it can be on this layer. If the floor is bearing, it should go to the bearing layer. Also, it depends. Sometimes a non-bearing wall also can go to the bearing layer to be connected nicely. So one wall I will attach using attach tool to the base. So now all the layers is nicely cutted and I see how it attaches. And another wall I will just use minus 120. It goes down. And I use join tool and just join wall and floor. And nicely layers are joined. This part looks not very nice. Also, I can try to switch join order by doing this one. In this case, my finish layer goes here. So on the left side, it's not looking correct. So I need to change it back. So this configuration is correct. Now my walls are nicely modified and I can copy paste them to next floors. So it means I can click copy and align to selected levels. And I can select needed levels and click OK. And it should automatically go up. And from here you can see how the walls are nicely going up. Of course, I just selected all the levels and I have a lot of problems because in the same place I have two walls which are overlapping. So in this case, I always will have this show related warnings. This warning explains two walls are in the same place. So I need to delete one of the walls to get nice results. And I can delete them, and automatically, if I use attach tool, automatically this part is attached. If I use join tool, I need manually join the wall and floor here. Okay, so let's go back to this floor plan. Okay, furniture is done, dimensions done, toilets done, doors, windows done, facade system done. Yeah, so if you understand these basic rules, you can repeat them on all floor plans, structure plans, architecture plans, and you will have nice result. So for my explication of my rooms, I can divide my schedule to smaller parts. Also, my schedule should be modified because I think text size is not correct. So text size just for title should be 3.5, and for header and body should be 2.5. Also, I can put strip rows, and now it looks much better. And I can organize it like this one and nicely move to the needed position. And here I have my rooms, my 3D view, my floor plan, and I can print this final version. Of course, here I need also to do some modifications and so on. So this can be done for architecture, structure plans. Basic rules are the same. Just copy, repeat, and do it again. So next time we will speak about roof, floors, and also slabs, precast slabs, some beams, and other components of the building. So thank you for your participation, and till next time.